Hey, the World Cup starts today, so what better way to kick things off than to rub salt into the wounds of the players that won't be going. I'm really sorry, guys. But hey, if you're finding us for the first time, then be sure to subscribe because I'm happy to say that I will be producing a World Cup video every single day. That's right. You won't even have to watch the World Cup yourself. You could just watch my videos the next morning, which will also include a brief setup of the matches you can look forward to that day. Cool? But back to the matter at hand, the rejected players 11. Today, it is my duty to string together the best group of players that were not selected by their respective nations. Man, imagine if this team, which I'll show you now, actually competed as the 33rd team in the World Cup. How would they do? You be the judge. We'll start with our goalkeeper, and in this position, we will have none other than the quite sought-after Bernd Leno, who had another solid season with Bayer Leverkusen where he made 33 appearances in the Bundesliga. When he started, Leverkusen won 16, drew 10, and lost 7. In fact, in the last 2 seasons, he's impressed so much that it's looking as if he will be signing with Arsenal shortly, if, of course, you want to listen to what the papers are saying and the undeniable evidence that is the Instagram like. So yeah, he may not have made it into the German squad behind Neuer, Ter Stegen, and Trapp, but he made it in mine. Now, we're going to be playing a good old 4-3-3 in my lineup, and let's start with our center backs. The first of our pairing will be Aymeric Laporte, the Frenchman that moved from Athletic Bilbao to Manchester City in January. Prior to his move, he made 19 appearances for Bilbao in La Liga, 6 in the Europa League, and across all competitions for City, just 13. Now I know what you're saying. Only 13 appearances from January to May? Well, he was injured a lot of the time, but when he played pretty damn well for City, and I fully expect him to be one of their better center backs next season alongside Otamendi. And if Mendy can't stay healthy again, then he can always rotate in there. It's pretty wild that he wasn't selected, to be honest, but then again, I guess the fact that his playing time was limited really hurt him, both figuratively and literally. Now, it goes into the slim pickings territory for other center backs. I mean, there's David Luiz, who was ignored by Conte / injured for the entirety of the season, basically. He only played 15 matches. There's also Benedict Havedes, who moved from Schalke to Juventus last summer, but he only made 3 appearances for Juve. Scored a goal though. Economical. Havedes, I don't know.
Benedict Havedes.
So, I'm gonna cheat just a little bit and go for Javi Martinez. Hey! It's not really cheating because he definitely has played there in the past for both Bayern and Bilbao. Martinez is criticized for being a bit slow, but my team is going to be fine because I have Laporte in there, so he can do all the running. He had some health issues this season as well, but when he played, he was solid. He was pretty much a mainstay in Munich's Champions League run to the semifinals, yet for some reason, the now sacked Spanish manager, Julen Lopetegui, has never selected him for the Spanish national team. Pretty whack, or at least pretty surprising. Hasn't even been selected to play in some friendlies, really? And now to our left back position, where you guys can get out the Adrian hates Alonso propaganda going on full steam here, because that's right, Alonso snubbed for my Premier League team of the season earlier, and now he's getting the snub again for my rejected players 11 team that are going to crush at the World Cup. My player of choice? Alexandro, the Brazilian left back that is, as of now, plying his trade with Juventus and has been an integral part of their defense for the past few seasons. He perhaps didn't have his best season this past year, as Asamoah was chosen ahead of him at times, but the fact that he's also such a sought-after fullback in the world of football says a lot, as he's a classic Brazilian left back, solid defensively and good going forward as well, as he provided 4 goals and 4 assists this season in the Serie A. The back line is looking nice, but we still need a right back. I could go for the hipster, Hector Bellerin, which, by the way, did you guys see this?
For next year. Right, shall we talk about Mercedes? Some hipsters around here with shaved hair and shorts and cool sort of rose-coloured glasses. He looks quite cool, that guy in the singlet, doesn't he? Right, sorry, I got distracted by the hipsters.
Hilarious, but as much as I like Ponyboy, he's too inconsistent for me. So, let's go to Barcelona, where both of their top right backs were snubbed. Now, I could go for Nelson Semedo, who wasn't actually chosen that often by Ernesto Valverde for some reason, but when he was chosen, he did pretty well. A little surprised he isn't going to be at the World Cup, but I guess Fernando Sanz went with Pereira and Cedric, 2 guys who played regularly for their respective clubs, so it makes sense. With that said, however, we'll go with Barcelona's first choice right back, Sergi Roberto. In fact, he's never been the first choice right back for Spain under Lopetegui, nor has he ever been selected by Lopetegui, which is interesting. He had another solid season for Barcelona, scoring once and providing 7 assists across all competitions. He's still only 26, so he has another World Cup or two in him, but unfortunately, this summer, he won't have the opportunity to top the moment when he scored the winning goal for Barcelona in their comeback against PSG last season? 2 seasons ago, I guess? This past season has concluded, so I guess it was 2 seasons ago now? Last year. But what am I saying? Just getting selected to be in my Rejects 11 is an honor enough and definitely topples the memories he'll have of that Champions League night in Barcelona. All right, let's start to build our 3-man midfield, and we'll start with, for me, the biggest snub of this edition of the World Cup, Radja Nainggolan. For me, Nainggolan has been there or thereabouts when discussing some of the best central midfielders in the Serie A for the past few seasons, and he was one of Belgium's top performers at Euro 2016. However, Roberto Martinez seemingly just doesn't like the guy. He probably doesn't like the fact that he smokes cigarettes, and maybe he finds that he is unprofessional in some other ways as well.
Do you believe Radja Nainggolan is a top 5 midfielder in the world?
Martinez claims that the decision to omit Nainggolan was a tactical one, saying that he is at his best in the 10 role, which will be taken up by De Bruyne. Yet, there's room in the squad for Marwan Fellaini and Adnan Januzaj? Those are the tactical choices? Get real, dude. Whatever though, Radja, don't sweat it, you can play on my team, hell, you can even be my captain. So all is well. But not all is well for me, because the rest of the midfield is very difficult to flesh out. But the second guy who will be playing alongside Captain Radja is a fellow Adrian. Adrien Rabiot, the 23-year-old PSG midfielder who had a banger of a season with the French treble winners, yet Didier Deschamps wasn't too interested in taking him to Russia. Why? Well, perhaps because of the last couple of times he received a call-up, he didn't look overly convincing for Les Bleus. But hey, if Deschamps doesn't want Rabiot and his midfield artistry, I'll take him. Gotta say though, his butthurt response to not getting selected by telling the French Football Federation to take him off of the standby list, pretty weak, dude. And the final piece to my midfield puzzle, will it be Cesc Fabregas? No. Will it be Mario Götze with his subpar season with Dortmund? No. Will it be Fabinho, who had another incredible season with Monaco? No. Yes, actually. Yeah, it's Fabinho. Fabinho finalizes the midfield. Now, of course, he sort of shocked the world with his move to Liverpool just a few days after the Champions League final. And at 24, and with the ability to play as both a central midfielder and a right back, if needed, he looks like a damn good buy. We didn't hear as much about Fabinho this season, and why, Adrian? Well, that's because we didn't hear as much about Monaco this season in general. They were the Cinderella story of the 2016-2017 season, scoring billions of goals and boasting an exciting attack with the likes of Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, Falcao, he's still there. And then on the more defensive side of things, they had Benjamin Mendy, Bakayoko, etc. But all those players, bar Falcao, remember, have left. And things got tough for Monaco. Despite that, they still managed to finish in second in the Ligue, though they had a disaster of a European campaign. All the while, Fabinho was one of their best and most consistent players, even managing to chip in with 8 goals and 3 assists across all competitions as a central midfielder. He reads the game well, can break up play well, and pick out a pass well. And he's in my team. Our midfield is done, and now the fun part, the front 3. Let's start with the left, which for me is easy peasy. Leroy Sané, PFA Young Player of the Year, and was a mainstay in Pep's record-breaking Manchester City side, as Sané went on to hit double digits in both goals and assists, with 14 for him and 17 provided to others. To be honest with you, I really don't understand how he wasn't selected by Jogi Löw for this tournament. What's up, man? I don't watch all of Germany's matches, obviously, but apparently he wasn't great for them in qualifying. In essence, he failed to replicate his club form for his country. But still, the reaction from fellow pros and former pros says it all, with the likes of Michael Ballack, John Arne Riise, Gary Lineker, etc., all baffled by the decision. That said, who am I to question Jogi Löw, a World Cup winning manager guy? Maybe he's really annoying in the locker room or something, for all we know, because we don't know. Or maybe Yogi saw his new haircut and he thought, I know he's going to be weak without his afro. He braided that shit up, now he's going to be terrible. But anyways, on the right, even though he prefers to play on the left himself, is Mr. Anthony Martial, the second of Manchester United's French connection, who unfortunately won't be connecting with the French teammates this summer. I truly feel bad for Martial because the reason for him not getting picked is totally down to United and Mourinho's choice to bring in Alexis Sanchez in Januario. Before Sanchez's arrival, Martial was arguably United's best player, or at least their most consistent performer in comparison to the rest of their attack at the time. Then, with the arrival of Sanchez, he was immediately relegated to the bench and rarely got a chance at 90 minutes after that. Like, it's really crazy. Looking at his matches played before Sanchez arrived, he'd scored 11 and assisted 8 across all competitions. Following the arrival of Sanchez, just 1 assist and only 6 starts. Crazy. You know what else is crazy? He's still only 22, so his potential is pretty huge, and I expect him to score 29 goals at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The World Cup everyone is looking forward to. You know what? Forget World Cup 2018. Let's do a World Cup 22 preview. And finally, who is my striker? Deschamps never wants to choose Karim Benzema, so perhaps I will now. Okay, how about Alvaro Morata, who started so well at Chelsea and then went on a pretty decent slump, scoring only 15 goals across all competitions and getting outscored in the Prem by the likes of Mahrez, Vardy, Sterling, Lacazette, etc., and only scoring 1 more than Aubameyang, who arrived in January. No, I do not want him. He's not that bad, just he's not my choice. How about the aforementioned Alexandre Lacazette, who had a, well, I wouldn't say great season with Arsenal, but a pretty okay season. No, he's not my guy either. Is it Jonas from Benfica? Yes, no, I'm joking, it's not. My guy is none other than the forever snubbed Mauro Icardi. I know he stole Maxi Lopez's woman, and Lopez is good friends with the likes of Messi, and Messi carries a lot of weight in regards to who is picked and who isn't, a blah 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 blah. That's what the papers say, at least. But I don't care about all that, because Messi isn't in my team, and so Icardi will be the second captain and will lead my attack. In the 2016-2017 season, he scored 26 goals from 41 appearances. This past season, 29 goals from 36 appearances across all competitions, and was tied with Ciro Immobile for top scorer in the Serie A. A difficult league to score in. No, I'm not saying it's the most difficult league to score on, but just a difficult league to score on. And he can pass as well, as in the 16-17 season, he hit double digits in both goals and assists across all competitions. Love it. And he'll have great service from Martial and Sané, and will ultimately score the winning goal in the World Cup final against Argentina. Eat it, Maxi Lopez. Got you again. I'm sorry, that was rude. So, let's run through it again. In goal, we have Burnt Leno. Burnt Leno. Our center backs are Aymeric Laporte and Javi Martinez. Said both names with a Spanish accent for some reason. At left back, we have Alexandro, and Sergi Roberto is our right back. In the midfield, Fabinho is our anchor. Rabiot is our central midfielder. And Nainggolan, our captain, is our cam. On the left wing, we have Leroy Sané, with Martial on the right. And spearheading the attack is Mauro Icardi. So that's my team. Who makes it into your team of World Cup rejects? Make sure you let me know in the comment section. And make sure you come back here tomorrow for day 1 of World Cup Daily. I'll recap the opening match of the tournament, Russia versus Saudi Arabia, and we'll preview Friday for you, which has some exciting teams playing, if not exciting players. All right, my name's Adrian, and this is Rabona TV. Thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you later, hopefully tomorrow. Peace.